What's up, Game Illuminaughty? It is the Triple Threat Podcast. I'm your co-host, Ziggy, along with our other co-host, Flock. Say what's up.
Yeah, yay.
And we have two special guests. We have TBH himself. Say what up. And we have the Warriors bandwagon fan. Say what up. Which is Moshi. So let's get started. The big news, we're talking NBA free agency, and Kevin Durant dropped the big bomb today on the Players Tribune, which seems to be the go-to spot lately for a lot of these players, saying his next chapter in his career is to play for the Warriors. And of course, everybody has got something to say about it. So let's go ahead and go around the table, around the horn, if you will. Flock, what are your thoughts of this?
Pass. Moshi, you go first.
No, you go.
No, you
go first,
you the quote unquote Warriors fan. You go first.
All right. So you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, we lost the championship, bro. We lost it. And I'm like, damn, we need some heat for next year. So I called up the NBA on my NBA phone. I was like, yo, whatever you do, I was like, hey, yo, you gotta get KD no matter what. He's a free agent. Hey, you know what happened? They was like, yo, we got it. We about to trade him some Sonic drinks. And you know what happened, people?
What?
Greatness.
Sonic drinks.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Stuff about his commercials. The Nerd Sonic, whatever it is that he made.
This guy.
Somebody saying it's an echo.
I don't got an echo on my end. Y'all got one?
I ain't got echo.
It's Moshi, I think. Anyways, TBH, let's talk about it. KD, Warriors.
My
You happy?
opinion on Kevin Durant going to the Warriors is let's go, baby. Fuck Cleveland, brother. Let's get me something straight. I am a Wizards fan, but I did say last night on my stream, that I did want to see KD go to the Warriors, just because if he went to the Warriors, Cleveland ain't winning shit ever again. Like I said, Cleveland winning a championship in any sport, not just basketball, any sport, is like seeing Halley's Comet. It comes like once every 70 years. So now that KD is going to the Warriors, they're not going to be winning anything, and they can return to their third world city status that they are. And LeBron is getting up in there at age too, so he's only going to be slowing down. So I think this is a great move as far as Cleveland not winning anything, because I just can't stand that city. They think they're a real city. But what do you think, Flock?
Brown.
Oh, it's kind of hard to follow that one, but a lot of people don't like it. I don't think people are more so upset that he left. I think they're more upset with where he ended up. I think it was one of those cases like, damn, anywhere but there.
Well,
I think if he'd signed with the Spurs, people wouldn't have been mad.
Nah, bro. Nah, don't get mad at him, bro. He's tired of losing, bro. Westbrook was just not enough, so he was like, hey, yo, Steph Curry, I see you got the juice, bro. If you can promise me a championship, I'll come play with you.
I think it's petty though, because like people are putting all these stipulations on how you're supposed to win a championship. It's like, can y'all just keep y'all opinions to yourself? It's like, damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. Like, if he doesn't win, they're gonna be like, oh, you ain't shit, LeBron won your era. And then if he goes to a team like that, they're gonna be like, oh, you couldn't do shit without Klay Thompson and fucking Steph Curry. He's damned if he does. It's like, you might as well just do what the fuck you want, because people are always gonna have something to say about it.
Well, a perfect example is Carmelo Anthony. Everybody trashed him for saying that he should have went to the Bulls because they were ready to win the championship right away. So he's somebody that didn't take that choice, and everybody still trashed him for it. And now, of course, the Bulls went to him, but still at the time, that was the excuse of why Carmelo should have gone there, which is pretty funny that he got a pass to go to the Bulls, but yet LeBron going to the Heat was trashed, and obviously KD going to the Warriors is trashed. I just think it's funny that all the people, Carmelo, which I think people hate the most out of all three, seem to get a pass of wanting to go to the Bulls. Like, everybody was cheering for that, which was pretty weird.
Yeah.
As far as what I think about Durant going to the Warriors, one, I thought it was shocking because he just cost himself a year of at least $35 million from the Oklahoma City, being the bird rights and stuff like that.
He went on record by saying it wasn't about money, though.
Yeah, he said he wanted to win. That's all he's focused on.
I mean, I get that, but let's be honest. His deal is only for 2 years, which the last year is the player option because obviously he's going to want the mega contract starting next year. So if it was really about quote unquote not about the money, then why not just sign long term with Golden State now and get it over with? So
I think when you say that, there's a limit. Like I feel like he wants to maximize it eventually down the road, but for now it's just about winning. And also I think he only signed a 2 year because he just wants to do a test drive. Let's see how this works because everybody's looking at the team on paper. We don't know what that team chemistry is gonna be like when they get on that floor. Because people forget that first year the Heat was together, they was struggling a little bit as far as team chemistry.
They started out struggling.
Yeah.
And then they eventually got to the finals again.
This time is they all assembled their team, without having chemistry. This team already has chemistry. It's just now KD has to be the one that fits with them, quote unquote. What kind of role do you think he's going to take? Like, is he going to be a second option, first option, third option? What is he?
I mean,
that is a good question.
It's Kevin Durant, and with the Warriors, it's Kevin Durant. But with the Warriors, they always find a way to make that shit work. So, I think at this point, he doesn't really care about being a top scorer, being a first or second option. I think he just wants to win. That signing with that team proves it.
If he takes Harrison Barnes' role, which is really a fourth option, number one is Curry, number two
definitely not
I guess
gonna be a
would be
fourth
Clay
option.
and Draymond Green. But I'm just saying, Barnes had all those open looks and he was missing those shots, which we can all agree that probably KD can nail a lot of those shots. But still, in order for him to have that quote unquote role, he has to be willing to not be the guy. And I don't know if that's in his gene. I mean, this guy's top scorer. I
think he'll have more chances to be the guy because this season, especially in the playoff, they ran a lot of double teams on both Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, but you can't double team like 4 people. You know what I mean? So
it's definitely gonna be pick your poison with that team.
I know this isn't gonna happen, but what I would like to see for just strategic purposes, what I would like to see is one of those starting, 2 of the starting 5 maybe come up off the bench because they would have a beast ass second unit. If maybe Klay Thompson, because come on, let's be real here. Fucking Steph Curry is probably top 5 in the league right now, top 5, top 10. Same thing with KD. Thompson's a beast, but he ain't a top 5 type player. But I think if maybe he could suck up his pride and come up off the bench and do what fucking what's name did back with OKC, the beard.
Harden.
Yeah, Harden. They would be a problem because then it wouldn't be, our starters are on the floor and that's why we're not scoring. They're always going to have a scoring option.
But they're definitely going to have a scoring option. You're right about that. I mean, the one thing about the Warriors is they're not selfish. I think a lot of people assume with the Heat that LeBron was going to be 1 or 2 with Wade and that Bosh obviously had a hard time, but they took a while to figure it out. I think with the Warriors, it really is any day one of them could be the top scorer. Hell, right? I mean, Iguodala, we're forgetting about him. One day he could be the top scorer. So it's definitely a team that I think could fit in. I just think that his role is probably going to be something that everybody's going to be talking about if they struggle.
I think because Clay and Steph just like to jack up threes, and Durant can hit from all over the field. I'd see his role predominantly be maybe hitting mid-rangers because they already got the threes on lock. So it's like, bro, you don't need to step behind the arc as much. Maybe just try to get open. And if there's an easy 2-pointer, we can give him that. Maybe that would be his role.
Flock, with Bogut being traded to the Mavs, who do you see being center now? Like, as far as do they bring somebody, or do you see maybe them testing out Draymond and having a small lineup?
Nah, they definitely not gonna put him at center. I mean, they already stretching it enough, putting him at the power forward spot. They'll find somebody. Somebody will come there for the minimum.
That somebody.
I mean, I don't know if they
Jermaine O'Neal said he's interested in coming to the Warriors. He just
I'm Betty.
I mean, don't they still have what's that dude name? Spades? Do they still have Spades on their team? I don't know.
Marcus Spades. I don't know. And I think did he leave?
They're all gone. Is he a competent 5 though?
I mean, he can be.
They don't need somebody who can.
But they need a big center, like, because that's what got them exposed.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like their biggest issue coming out of the finals is they needed a center. And the thing is, you picked up more of a scoring force, but you still didn't. They still didn't solve their problem. They don't need a Boogie. Cousins. They just need somebody competent, and it's like that's
You know who they would have needed, but he would have cost a lot of money was Biombo. That's who they needed was a Biombo.
Just get some rebounds. I feel that.
Just get rebounds and blocks because then Tristan Thompson without him the Cavs would have been in trouble. So.
And Tristan ain't that great. Like he's just a competent.
Yeah, exactly. He made it look like they were fantastic. It's just because that's how bad Bogut and Fazeli's were. Zelly Festus was.
I think they're gonna re-sign Mazzilli though. But I know for a fact they letting Harrison Barnes walk. I forgot who signed. I think Dallas signed him to an offer sheet. They won't match it now. They're gonna let him go.
They already denounced it.
it.
I mean, is that a big deal though? He was irrelevant in the finals.
Well, he was. I mean, he was playing Durant's position anyway, so they weren't going to pay him max for backup.
Yeah, he wasn't really doing much in the finals, so I like that. He can go. He was expendable.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
So let's go ahead and talk about the next big deal, which is where is and where you going to go.
Hold on. Before we get in, I got to touch on one more thing with Durant. A lot of people are saying that Curry and Draymond Green and Klay Thompson is the reason why he signed there. That was the alluring factor. People don't realize the most alluring factor in signing with Golden State for him was Jerry West. Jerry West made that happen, not those players. Jerry West, and a lot of people may not. Who is Jerry West? Jerry West is the fucking logo of the NBA.
I would imagine Steve Kerr too. I'd want Steve Kerr as my coach. Because
you got to think, Jerry West is the same dude that got Shaq to leave Orlando to go to LA when they really didn't have any players there. They traded, Vlade Divac for Charlotte's pick, who ended up being Kobe Bryant. So Jerry West can make it happen when he wants to. So I just think
you bring up a good point. Let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about it because everybody's going to want to talk about it. Is what Kevin Durant did the same as LeBron of what he did back in the Heat days?
No, I think what LeBron did was worse. People seem to forget this man went on television. He went on. First of all, this man went on television, made it into an hour-long spectacle. They did interviews. They picked his brain, and in the last minute, after 59 minutes of bullshit, I'm going to the Miami Heat. I was so mad. And I wasn't mad that he went to the Heat. I was mad that you made me sit there and do that, bro. I thought it was going to be something better. So I feel like what LeBron did was way worse, not just from a team. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about the whole spectacle behind it, bro. At least give KD some credit. At least he was quiet about it. He just made the announcement on social media. And then y'all took it and y'all ran with it and made it something bigger than what it is. The real reason y'all upset is because y'all team is trash and the Warriors aren't. And keep in mind, I ain't no damn Warriors fan. I ain't like Moshi, but I can read. I can read. I'm a Wizards fan.
What about you, Flock? What do you think? Which one was worse?
It's got to be LeBron's because of the way he did it.
So if somebody comes back, because a lot of them are going to say,
I said that earlier. It's a chance he'll go back. So I mean, it's only a 2-year deal, so who knows what's going to happen in that 2 years.
Well, technically, it's really a 1-year deal. Everybody knows he's going to opt out that second option.
So I don't know. I think LeBron's is worse though, because he went on. You can't fault anybody for wanting to be successful. Like, can't get mad at the man for wanting to win. I stuck it out for 9 years here, and we didn't do anything. Same thing with LeBron. But LeBron went on TV and did it.
To put it in perspective, a lot of times when let's say any of y'all in the chat, y'all barely won something. Let's say you win a game online. What's the first thing you tell people when you barely won something? You'll be like, hey, a W is a W. It's like, stop putting these stipulations on people on how they want it. If you had the option to go to war with fucking Iron Man suits and you knew the opposition was gonna have fucking muskets, you're gonna want the Iron Man suits. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, quit trying to scold this man for putting himself in the best position, bro. Now y'all mad at people because they studied for the test. Oh man, you shouldn't have studied for the test. You should have just went in there and took it, bro. Fuck that. I'm studying.
Well, I do find it funny that Austin Rivers put "wow" shaking my head, knowing full well that the Clippers were trying their hardest and actually thought they had a chance at Durant. Also, that was kind of. I thought that was a weak tweet by him for sure.
And shout out to the owner of the not the Warriors, but OKC, because he released a statement and like Flock said on Twitter, it was a class act. It wasn't like Dan Gilbert, the slave owner. He wasn't all bad. He was just like, hey man, I wish you luck. You brought a lot of, and he's right. Like people fail to realize that Oklahoma City failed Durant and fucking Westbrook. Because for a while it was just them two. Serge Ibaka, he became Serge irrelevant, and trading James Harden was the dumbest thing they could have ever. That's top 10 of the past decade, the dumbest fucking trade.
It was just, and they got nothing for him.
It's OKC's fault.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And technically, that's why LeBron left, because he wasn't getting no help. I think that's going to be the point that everybody makes with the LeBron versus Kevin Durant, is that Durant actually went to the team that was beating him, while LeBron went to a team that he formed, I guess, to make a super team where it wasn't really the Heat was the problem for the Cavaliers. It was, LeBron had no help. That's the difference. Everybody's going to be throwing at people when it comes to that.
That's another case of like, what are we talking about, bro? That's why you mad? You guys are losers, bro. You're losers. It's not that serious. It wasn't that
he left. That's why I said that earlier. It wasn't why he left. It was just the team he chose.
They act like y'all talking like y'all season pass holders, bro. Most y'all can't even afford to get some nosebleed seats. What are y'all so mad for, bro?
I'm saying that's at the end of the day, bro. Like, no matter how much money you get in for him, it's like you entered the game to win, fam, and that's what he put himself in a position to do, to win. So you can't get mad at him.
Let's move on from Kevin Durant real quick. Obviously, everybody started thinking after that Dwayne Wade was going to jump to Cleveland, and that maybe LeBron was calling him saying, hey, we got to form our team again to beat Durant and the Warriors. But news came out that the Heat offered 2 years, $40 million, and Wade wants 3 years, apparently $60 million. Flock, what do you think? Do you think Wade stays in Miami, or do you think he's going to go ahead and go back to LeBron and have it to where it's Cavs Warriors for the next 2-3 years?
We talked about this in the last one we did. I don't think he can go anywhere. Pat Riley has a way of making shit work, and I mean, you would hope that the team would do right by that dude, because he took a lot less money than he should have been getting for years, and I think now he just wants to be rewarded for that. He got him championships. I think he ends up staying. I mean, I seen stuff where the Denver Nuggets was able to offer him a bunch of money, and maybe Milwaukee was trying to do some stuff to get him, but I don't think he would want to play there. And Cleveland is already in the luxury tax right now, so they like well over the hard cap and the they into the luxury tax, so they can't afford him either. They would have to pretty much gut that whole team, and then what you gonna have?
Yep.
So
that's true. Realistically, the only other team I could see him leaving would be Cleveland at this point, because I think if he doesn't take the money, then he's going to want the easy path to a win, for another ring. That's obviously Cleveland.
I think Dwayne Wade is going to stay, only because it's smart. The dude's he's 34 right now, and it's like he only got a couple more years. So it's smart that he'll sign on for like the 3 years and just get his money and bow out gracefully from the league.
He's trying to pull a Kobe.
Yeah.
What do you think, TBH?
Part of me wants to just see him in another uniform just to see what it would be like, because I'm the type, like, I'm not all attached to these players like it's real life. Like, it's just entertainment to me. No, I'm not on that loser stuff. But like, part of me wants to see him in another uniform, but I feel like he'll stay, because that's just where he's been his whole career, and he might get cold feet. But to see him in a Cavs uniform, I think that would be dope. I also think that'd be a nice little way to balance out things with KD going to the Warriors. It would just be one more piece to the Cavs puzzle. As far as him, I think they said he was also considering the Bucks. Like, they got some nice pieces up there, but I don't know why you want to be in that young ass locker room. Nah, that ain't.
I see him choosing the Knicks more than the Bucks, if that's the case.
The Knicks don't have the cap space to sign him.
I mean, none of them technically do, if you think about it. They just they're all relying.
Going for money, if he's going for money, he's going to stay in Miami, or he can go to Denver, which nobody would understand. If he's just going to win and don't care about money, which he's going on record and said he does care about money, then he would try to go to New York or Cleveland. That's just
the problem with the Knicks, though, is like they look pretty decent on paper, but none of them know how to win. Like,
nobody has won on that team.
Yeah, like, they don't have that playoff experience. Melo has some gold medals, but that doesn't count because you're playing with the Monstars in the Olympics. So Yeah.
We'll see. Hey, my Knicks are actually look like they might win 33 games this year. Okay, I'm happy about that.
They might get that AC. They might get it.
Let's get to another
Wizards.
big news that everybody is forgetting about. This team has been just as good, if not better, than the Cavs and the Warriors these last few decades, and that is the San Antonio Spurs, who now announced Pau Gasol is coming on board. But it comes with a side note: Tim Duncan is leaning towards retirement. The Spurs, Flock, what do you think about the Spurs' chances in all this?
That's the only team that's got a chance. The only team that's got a chance to beat them, and it's a very slim chance. But that's the only team in the West that I can see even being mentioned in the same breath as Golden State right now. So Tim Duncan wasn't super productive like in the playoffs, so it might be time. I mean, he won 5 championships. He's about to be 40 years old. So
this is gonna sound messed up to say, but I hope he doesn't retire, because with Paul Gasol signing, that means that's even less work for him to do, less minutes for him to play. So why not give it one more shot and collect another ring and submit yourself in the NBA history, even though he already has. But what's one more ring?
I agree.
Their best chance was this year. I think they let their best opportunity to win was this year, and I think they kind of like that it slipped from their grasp.
I think before I let you go, Moshi, I think Pop is gonna convince him to stay because he already picked up the option. So the money part of it is not a problem with the Spurs or him. So it's just about if he really wants to play or not. I think he's gonna convince him, hey, we got Gasol. I'll bench you the whole season. He won't care. Just so you can play the playoffs. You'll be fresh, and let's get you that one more ring, and then we'll all retire in the sunset. That's I think he's gonna convince him of that. I really do. Moshi, what do you think?
I would want Duncan to retire because he's 40 right now, and he holds like a special place because I don't care where you're from, of Tim Duncan, and like that he's just a respected player in the entirety of the NBA, and it's just I want to see him go. It would be nice if he had a championship before he went, but at the same time, I don't want to see this dude get hurt, fam.
Yeah, that's the same shit I was saying. I don't want to see him get hurt. Same thing I said about Kevin Durant, Kevin Garnett. I don't want to see them dudes get hurt and have to go get, go out, not on their own 2 feet, So I just
not go out like Patrick Ewing did with the Knicks.
Right, like Patrick Ewing.
I feel like he keeps
even
going.
Barkley.
I feel like he keeps going because maybe he feels like all he has is basketball. Because a lot of times with the athletes, when they retire, they move into media and they become a presenter in some form for whatever network. And I feel like that's not going to happen with Tim Duncan because although he's a very likable guy, let's be real here, he's boring as fuck. Nobody wants to hear him talk. So maybe he feels like all he has is basketball and he's just trying to figure out what he wants to do with his next chapter of his life. So he just keeps playing until he figures it out.
I can see that. All right, so before we wrap it up, go ahead, Moshi. What's up?
No, I was just gonna say, I just really want him to retire before he gets hurt because, even in Boston, he just never played for Boston. He's never, he's repeatedly dunked on us. But what do you call it? We have a mural. I don't know if I'm saying the word right. A mural.
Yeah.
Here of Tim Duncan in one of his quotes. I forgot the quote, but it's really dope. So it's respect all around for Tim Duncan.
Probably one of the most underrated players in our generation. The guy's a legend. He should be talked about as one of the top 10 players of all time, and nobody ever puts him in any list.
He's the best power forward ever.
Yep.
It's because he doesn't. It's because he doesn't show up to games dressed in cosplay and all this weird shit like these other NBA
he doesn't
players.
have the frameless glasses.
He's just a normal guy. He just wants to play, do his job, and go home. I ain't mad at him.
All right, so let's talk about before we wrap things up. Is LeBron now definitely going to stay in Cleveland, or do you think he's scared of the Warriors?
If he leaves Cleveland, he's a sucker, bro. A sucker in my book, bro. I'm not the type to be on that type of stuff, but bro, make up your mind, bro. Either would it be I feel like he should retire in Cleveland. You did a good thing. You brought them Haley's Comet. So just go ahead and wrap it up, bro.
I know he's gonna stay, but I said in the last one, me and Flock, I said let's have fun. Would he leave? Do you think though Cleveland has a team to still beat the Warriors with Durant, or do you think that it was luck? They were down 3-1. They were legitimately, they had a shot at losing at this, and they came back in historical fashion. Is the team good enough to beat the Warriors on paper?
It's hard to beat somebody 3 times in a row and call it luck. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
I just keep saying they figured him out. That's all it was. They figured him out. That's all it was.
So is Durant the missing piece to push him over to that fourth win?
I think what do you call it? Durant is a major key, only because if he took Harrison Barnes' position, because Harrison Barnes, I'm sorry, bro, but that dude missed so many open threes in the playoffs and in the finals. And at one point, I'm just like, yo, why is this dude on the court, bro? Like, why? So I think, and my thing is, like, they kept passing it to him because, like I said before, they double teamed the shit out of Curry, Klay Thompson, and that was an open option. That's why you saw Green go off, because, like, while they were getting double teamed, Green was open, Barnes was open, but he just could not make these open shots. And KD does not miss those. So if he can convert those points, I think they got a shot of just
points. It would have been
right. If he can convert those, man, they got an unstoppable force right there.
That's a good point.
Funny. Oh, go ahead.
I was saying that's a good point because Klay Thompson and Steph Curry get double teamed all the time, and there's only 5 players on the court. You got KD, Steph Curry, and fucking Klay Thompson on the court. You can't double team them all. You need 6 players.
And if you do, Green is wide open to get you 50 points because he got 30 when everybody was blocking them too. So imagine with KD there.
It's like, who do you guard?
I was gonna say, imagine if LeBron goes to Oklahoma now and then beats Durant with the Thunder.
I saw somebody tweet about that. Y'all need to stop. You know that ain't gonna happen, bro.
Right. He ain't going nowhere.
So, Flock, what are you thinking? Is the team good enough to beat the Cavs, or is the Cavs still have the upper hand?
They were good enough to beat good enough to beat the Cavs before Durant got there.
Let's not forget they were up 3-1.
Yeah, they
did beat them before the year before.
Yeah, they beat them before, but of course, Cleveland didn't have their entire team, so
they weren't full health.
Yeah, they weren't fully healthy either. So but they were good enough to beat them before Durant got there. They damn sure are now. I mean, they still gonna need to get some more pieces around because if their bench isn't really that good, that's gonna kind of hinder them too. But they don't need a great bench because some of those guys can play with the second unit at times too. So it's gonna be interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
Like, what do you call it? Oh, good.
I was just gonna say, piggybacking off Flock, just like their starting 5 is gonna be beasts, but just from a strategic standpoint, if people suck up their pride and come off the bench, they're gonna be a freaking problem.
That's what Iguodala did. He was just like, man, all right, cool.
See, here's the biggest problem though. We're looking at it as the standpoint of what these teams did last year, right? The thing is, Celtics are better now. They got Horford. They upgraded.
The entire East is better.
The
now.
Pacers, the Pacers on paper, in my opinion, look awesome. I mean, that team is a paper champion for sure right now. I actually have them. I think,
but health is always a question mark with all those guys.
And that's true. But even the Knicks now look good. I mean, I think it's going to be a lot tougher for this road to the finals than it was last year when it was just the Hawks.
LeBron ain't just getting in this year.
Exactly. I think they're gonna have to earn it, and then the same thing happened with the Warriors. If they have to battle to get to it, because the West is tough, and they shredded the whole regular season, but as you can tell,
they got burned out in the playoffs.
Yeah. Exactly. The West is like, the West. The Golden State is a problem. Like, regardless, I think with the addition of KD, because usually Steph Curry, he got that James Bond golden gun shooting, like it just impeccable. But what do you call it? With KD there, when he's getting guarded, he has more options now, and instead of just Barnes. So I think
the Warriors did the move they needed to stay on top of the West for sure. But Cleveland hasn't done any moves to stay on top of the East, is what I'm getting at.
They're still.
I mean, if you think about it, they lost Mozgov. They're probably going to lose J.R. Smith. They're probably going to lose some of these other guys that they have. That they're holding these contracts.
Kevin Love is irrelevant.
Kevin Love is relevant. Apparently, they might trade him. I mean, if that's the case, are you confident that a LeBron and Kyrie Irving is all you need to get back to the finals? I mean, that's the question that everybody's going to be asking in Cleveland. That's a question probably LeBron's
if all the players are
leaving,
like you just said, they're not going to the finals again.
And it's going to be tougher. I think.
Because
That's
one thing we had to take into consideration that we haven't even talked about. Let's not pretend like Kyrie Irving is not on a day-to-day basis. That man can injure himself at any time because he spent half his NBA career being injured already. I feel like people forget that he could get injured at any point.
Yep. It's just going to be tough. And this is the reason why I think LeBron hasn't done anything yet, because I think he's telling Dan Gilbert, hey, you better make sure that this team is legit. You know, everybody else is improving while you haven't done anything. I mean, what have they signed anybody yet? Flock, have they even done anything?
Who?
The Cavs.
No, they haven't really done it. They don't have, like I said, they don't have any wiggle room to do anything right now. They gotta like figure out their own people because they gotta create that type of space. That's why I said they in a luxury tax right now.
And they lost Moscow, which is no big deal. I mean, he was a backup center anyway.
That was one, but I mean, he wasn't making that much money.
No, that's true. But I'm just saying though, they losing piece. They lost Moscow. They lost.
They're gonna lose somebody else. And they just lost Dellavedova to Milwaukee.
They're gonna lose probably J.R. Smith. I would imagine he's gonna want money, and he's not gonna stay for $5 million this year. I would imagine.
And Diesel said in the chat they should trade Kevin Love for Paul Millsap. I like that move right there.
If they do it though, Atlanta, I don't know if they.
I mean, they were trying to trade him when they were trying to keep Horford. They were trying to move that dude to have money to re-sign Horford. They was trying to trade him.
No, they were. No, I saw that.
Once Horford went to Boston, they like, oh, never mind.
But do you think they want Kevin Love in Atlanta though? That's the thing.
I don't know. I mean,
Who wants him? Period.
I wouldn't want a front court of Kevin Love and Dwight Howard. No, I don't think that would work.
Wait, Dwight went to Atlanta?
Yeah, he went to
Atlanta.
Oh, I missed that one. Nobody was tweeting about it. That's how big of news that was. God damn. Well, before you wrap this up, because I know you're trying to wrap it up real quick. See, one last thing. This just broke like 30 minutes ago. Brandon Jennings just signed to the Knicks. How you feel about that?
Yeah, I just saw that too in the chat. Hey, I'm excited, man. I mean, like I said, the Knicks on paper right now, as long as health is the only issue, but I'm just happy that we might make the playoffs again. I'll be honest.
Right.
It was just too many like mediocre players getting signed a big time contract show. I'm like, it was a couple people that was getting signed a deal. I'm like, who? I'm like, who is this dude?
Right, 70 mils, like the new 10 mil. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How much was the contract for in Jennings? I mean, was it a big time deal or what?
I didn't see it.
And you know, it's crazy too. Like all these irrelevant dudes are getting 70 mil contracts, max contracts. I bet you not one of them gonna help their community.
Oh no! I mean, a perfect example is the Mavs giving Barnes that max contract. I mean, are you really telling me that this guy is going to be the main scorer in Dallas? I mean, no way.
You know that they have to, with that cap being set at, was it 94 mil? They have to have I think it was like 83, 84. It was like in the 80s. You have to have at least $80 million for the season accounted for. So you can't sit and just have a $50 million payroll with like $40 million in cap space during the season. So
see, that's the problem is that what's the Sixers gonna do?
Oh God!
I mean, nobody wants to go there.
I mean, you can't make nobody sign
right? So you have to give Covington. I mean, they're gonna love it because they're probably gonna get $25 million a year just because they're the only ones.
That's the move, right? Mike Conley, the highest paid player in the league, the richest NBA contract in history now. We ain't gonna talk about Rondo to the Bulls though.
Oh, I forgot about that. All right, let's talk about that. Rondo to the Bulls.
I mean, is he good? Is he even good anymore?
He's
what are you talking about? Where
he went? No, well, he went to the Kings, and like the thing is, like when you go to the Kings, like you don't get any type of like what's the word?
Yeah, nobody knows
exposure. Like, so I don't know. Like, how was his season last year? I don't know.
He led the league in assists.
Oh, okay.
He was great. He was great for the Kings.
He triple double waiting to happen.
I forgot where I heard or read it from, but even though like the Kings weren't like a big talked about team inside the playoffs and all that, they in stat wise he did raise the team's effectiveness. So,
well, before Flock goes, I think what you mean is that he at least the Bulls are showing they're not waving the white flag. I think it shows everybody and the fans that they're willing to play hard this season. I mean, he brings legitimacy to the point guard position for sure. I mean, Etuan Moore, don't get me wrong, he's a good player for them, but he's not going to be your star point guard. You know what I mean?
He went to New Orleans. So
did he leave? Oh, I thought they were keeping him.
He went to New Orleans. Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, well, no wonder they went after Rondo then. The Bulls definitely needed a point guard.
Eric Gordon got signed by the Rockets. So, you know, he got big money from the Rockets to come off the bench. I'm like, I guess.
So what do you think then? You think it's good? What do you think?
I mean, it's Rondo. I always like Rondo. Good defender. Can't shoot worth shit. He a bad free throw shooter, but he can run the offense though. I give it one season before him and the coach be at each other's throats.
I was gonna say it's a good thing because, you know, there was like rumbling behind the scenes of some drama between Butler and Rose. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But you won't hear any about, you know, whose team or this or who's the primary scorer or whatever. It's gonna be Rondo giving the ball to Butler.
Yeah.
Yep. And he's a good facilitator. I think he's gonna help.
I need them to retool this. They talk about retooling the roster. They need to retool the management, man. The front office with the Bulls. Gar Forman, John Paxson, they are fucking horrible, yo. It's a reason why don't nobody want to play here anymore. Like,
hey,
this was a destination spot, man, if you wanted to win. But when them dudes took over, it was like they don't take care of their people. They don't take care of their superstars. That's why other superstars don't really want to play there. They want to lowball everybody, and then they just not loyal. They not loyal.
Coming from a Knicks fan, all right, you know, we went through the suffering last year. At least you got Lopez gonna be doing some scoring. So there you go.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm starting to think the Wizards is the new Knicks, bro. We picked up Trey Burke. That's it. Like, man, I can't even watch basketball. My own
Yeah,
team
you know what?
anymore,
We didn't even touch up on that TBH. I thought Kevin Durant was a lock to be for the Wizards. This is somebody that grew up in Washington D.C. Right?
Well,
So
whoa! And if you're in the Discord, you know you've heard me say plenty of time. I would like for him to come here, but my gut always said he ain't coming here, fam. Like we have nothing to offer him. So
hey, they're still next year. They're still.
That
next
only
year.
works. That only works for that. Right. That only works for so many people. Like not everybody is. You know, is compelled to go and playing where they grew up at. Some people need to get as far away from from that shit as they possibly can. You know what I mean? Some people don't like that. Other people want to go somewhere else and do their thing. So,
that is true. All right. Well, that is the episode of 3, which today we had 4. So let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you're watching the video, if you were watching us live, thank you for listening. And
I got one more thing.
Go for it.
Hey, NBA, this is to you guys. If anybody in NBA ever listens to this, you know, I see y'all giving out these big contracts. You know, I just started playing basketball yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I average like 2 out of 10 free throws. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all need somebody, you know what I'm saying, I could do a little layup or something.
You can
clean the floor.
Send the Lakers a resume with your Jigaboo Jones stats, and I bet you get a max contract.
You know it. Jigaboo Jones to the Lakers. Let's get it.
Let me say something before I leave. Let me say, I know that I am the bandwagon Warriors fan here. Now, I see this, and I want to get more into basketball. I just started back, and I see that it's unfair that I do that to my city, the Boston Celtics. So I've been taking it upon myself to get educated, learn a little more. But the Warriors are still my West team.
Man, that is so sad, dude. You got one of the most storied franchises in NBA history, and you don't even know about your Celtics. That's
I know about Bird.
You don't know about Russell?
Bill Russell.
Look at that. All right, here you go.
I don't know. I don't know.
Let's wrap this up.
right.
Any final thoughts there, Flock?
In closing, I just want to say thanks to everybody that came through. Check us out, man. See what we had to say. If you're watching this on the replay on YouTube, like Siggy said, just leave your comments on what you think. Also, I want to go on record by saying that this is a bold prediction here, that Russell Westbrook, if he does not sign an extension by the start of the season, they will try to move that brother.
Oh, he's going to be gone.
Well, where do you think he would end up?
Ooh, who needs a point guard next year? Bulls need a point guard.
Plenty of people.
The Knicks need a point guard.
Plenty of people.
Man, it's gonna be interesting.
And to the Flames saying you a fake ass Celtics fan, bro, I need you to learn your voices. That was Moshi that they were talking to, not me, bro. Get your shit together, because you almost got a 600. Almost got a 600 for friendly fire, partner. What did you say? My bad.
I think Bulls and Knicks are going to be fighting for a point guard next year, since Rose and Rondo aren't going to be long-term solutions. So I think those two teams for sure on the top of the list.
I'll take them.
Oh, I'll take him.
I don't know if they're gonna have the cap space to sign him in the offseason. I mean, they got plenty of people to trade for him during the season, though. I mean, you got a bunch of players they can trade him for, but like I said, we'll see how it goes. But I think if they don't sign him to an extension, he will end up getting traded.
One thing for sure is we know the Laker fans are going to say that everybody's going to want to join their team. So at least we know the Lakers are already the top choice for Westbrook.
Listen, man, rosters may change every year in the NBA, but one thing that doesn't is delusional Laker fans, okay?
Exactly. That was a shot at chaos in the chat.
I was on Twitter. Somebody said KD to OKC, but Kobe got 5 rings. I'm like, but what does that got to do with the conversation? Like,
Nothing. Nothing.
All right, everybody, we're wrapping it up. You have a good one. Thank you.
Dude.
peace.
Peace.
Bye.